the light catching on the red, yellows, and oranges of the leaves in Metro Tokyo, and the fall air is cooling as the late afternoon drifts closer to earlier evening. Outside, the smells of slow-baked sweet potatoes can still be caught from the slow-moving mini trucks equipped with onboard wood-burning ovens as they move past the school's grounds that you guys find yourselves on. Waiting after school for one of your newer companions, someone who looks after the school's computers when they go down. Our trio has agreed to meet and discuss several interesting happenings, and as such, they have gathered outside the computer server room, hanging around in the hallways after school is done. We find Braun just finishing up in the server room and exiting, closing the door behind him and locking it, to find that Fukiko is waiting there.
So Fukiko had seen Braun go into the server room earlier in the day. And after school ended, she went and he still seemed to be working in there. So being a little bit curious as to why he was there, since he is someone that she knows, she was waiting in the hallway, just hoping to say hi whenever he left. I mean, she wasn't going to wait for hours, but if he came out sooner rather than later, she'd say hi.
He'll come out, whistling, and stop when there is a child standing in front of him.
So what was broken this time?
Well, cords weren't organized. Server 3A went down. And they pay me by the hour.
So what have you been doing in there then?
Sleeping, books, watching stuff.
Figured. So, seen anything strange lately?
In this town, what's not?
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, but anything specific?
Well, somebody went missing.
Somebody?
Miho went missing.
That's your friend.
Correct.
I
Have you
thought
not
you
met?
said I, I don't think so. You said she was a robot. Is that true?
Well, yeah, she's a robot, but
I think I'd remember meeting a robot. Okay, well, if she's missing, how long has she been missing?
about 3 days.
Um, okay, well, I can help you look. I mean, I don't really know where she would be, but I go around and I do my thing sometimes, and if I see her, then I'll help.
Well, it was definitely the Malcron Corp. I have no exact evidence, but it was definitely
But
them.
yeah, they're the ones you don't like. Okay, well, I am going to remember that, and I am going to look next time I do, crime fighting stuff.
And space and time momentarily warp. Auren staggers out of the portal and stops before the wall that is in front of him. This isn't Lauren Bacall's place. I knew Bogart was lying. This wall. Uninspired. Maybe from the 1950s, but it's been around a while. Last time I saw a wall like this, it was after Fukiko was killed. He looks over. Oh, hey, Fukiko. He turns around and looks at you. No. I'm
You're
here.
doing it again. The whole, implying we all die horribly thing, you're doing it again.
Yes. Yes, well, don't worry about that now.
That's what
You've
you
got a
always
while
say.
yet.
Oh, good. Your aim's getting better. You didn't crash into the wall and fall down this time.
No. No, but I didn't end up where I wanted to be. Again.
Wow. Maybe you'll get there
Boo
someday.
hoo. You can teleport. So sad.
Yes. Well, technically, I can skip through time.
Skipping's pretty fun.
Now, if there's nothing going on, I think I need to go to that place that you call a video store and destroy a Bogart movie.
Well, Braun's robot friend is missing.
The moving mechanical doll.
Yes.
That's an incredibly disrespectful way to phrase it, but yes.
Have you looked behind the sofa? When you lose stuff, it's nearly always there.
She's not small enough to fall behind furniture.
Did your...
Hunch that Malkron was involved.
What makes you so certain?
Well, after she goes missing, they suddenly get a shipment of something humanoid.
How do you know what they got a shipment of?
How do you know it was humanoid?
There are many questions that I don't need to answer here. What I do in my free time is my personal business.
I like it. I like it.
All right, at about that time, you guys are having your discussion in the middle of the hallway. Braun is absently double checking his portable computer because that little puff of space and time that Auren just manifested might have come with an EP pulse, but didn't turn out to be so. You just checked offhand and confirmed it.
If you got caught in it, it might have rolled your updates back.
A fair bit.
That was probably a worry. But as you guys are just chatting, the principal of Jinde Academy is coming down the hallway, you notice. And with him are two individuals. One is a rather tall, handsome blonde man. The other is a few steps behind him and a much larger, stockier, well dressed individual who seems to have all the earmarks of a bodyguard. All of you, as he gets closer, of course, you recognize the principal. But as the tall blonde man, who is extremely handsome and very well dressed, gets closer, you recognize him. This is a very well known philanthropist millionaire. Is there any other kind, I guess? Corey Janice Lynch, very well known in Metro Tokyo. Has his fingers in a lot of activities, but all of them seem to be helping either with situations of unemployment, situations of disaster, situations of medical need. So he is on the television and such very often and in the media very often. What he'd be doing in your school, you have no idea. It is apparent that the principal is leading him in your direction. He approaches, and as you have a moment, you hear the conversation finishing off. Thank you, Principal Kajiro. I will take it from here. Thank you very much for bringing me to them. I have a few things to discuss with them, and I don't want to keep you any longer. He smiles at the principal, who just kind of bows quickly and nods and turns and stops momentarily, looks back at the three of you, cocks his head briefly at Braun, shrugs, and then leaves.
Why is our principal talking to a famous person?
That isn't me.
Are you famous?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Since
When this happened?
Well, if you didn't have that head in that box all the time, with the little letters, you'd know things.
The box tells me a lot of things, and never your name.
Well, clearly nothing important then. And you,
and we
if you didn't play with your damn cat all the time, you'd know. Why are you asking me this?
what?
He waits politely and is just smiling at the three of you. And once he has your attention again, just the people I was looking for. I am privy to a lot of the things that goes on in this town, and I've been keeping a tab. Dossier, information on the three of you and some of your antics, I guess. For the most part, they seem benign, which is good. I wouldn't want to see anything too untowards happen from you all, because I might have to step in more. But so far, so good. I was wondering, though, if you'd be interested in doing me a favor. Danny just kind of looks at the three of you. Very casual, very calm. His voice has a very mellow and not dreamy, but certainly puts people at ease.
And what kind of favor would this be?
Mr. Braun. I'll assume that's your last name, since I don't know any other one for you. Even with my contacts and ability to get information, you seem to keep your information very well minimized. I am actually looking to recover something that was taken from me, and I was hoping you'd be able to help me. It would seem that one of your recent researches into topics triggered one of my own inquiries, and it seems we may have a similar interest in a place. For me, they have some of my material that I use in research. I'm busy looking at factors to heal diseases faster, recover brain damage from strokes, that type of thing. And this company that I'm concerned about and that apparently has acquired some of my material is a subsidiary of Melcorp. And I think it was one that you were looking at. With that, he kind of turns to the big fellow following him, and the big fellow hands him a folder, and he just accepts that and then passes it on to. He looks momentarily between the three of you, smiles at Fukiko, and hands it to Braun. Inside, real quick flip through, and you see that it's got a few schematics of a building, by the looks of it, a fairly secure building. And if you're not mistaken, it looks like the same one that you were looking at as a possible location for your missing companion. It also has some other details on the place, the layout of the 3 floors, and some details on a device which you scan very quickly and ascertain it's a device for tracking down a isotopic signature. I was wondering if you were going to be checking into this company, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye out for my materials.
And if we don't, or I suppose I don't,
Well, no harm, no foul. Regardless, I do have another appointment right away. I will leave this in your hands and just hope that you do the right thing. Thank you very much for your time. Kind of nods at Braun. Thank you for your time, Auren. Thank you for your time, Fukiko.
Oh, I'm Auren.
Yep. He nods in your direction and he nods at Fukiko. So he knows each one of you.
I love to imagine that he just does that now. I'm Auren.
Anytime someone says his name,
Yeah.
that's me. Yeah.
And with that, he just smiles slowly and casually turns and exits with his bodyguard following him.
So, I don't love the idea that a guy has files on us.
Why am I the only one surprised by this?
What?
Why are you not surprised that there are not more people having files on me?
On you? Because nobody's supposed to know what you do and what I do, and I don't know, Braun, if anyone's supposed to know what you do.
Nobody knows what he does. That's how he can get paid for what he does. He just tinkers in there like a blacksmith, and eventually things happen, and then they give him money. Like a witch doctor.
So is he a blacksmith or a witch doctor?
Some kind of dark art.
Does a blacksmith count as practicing the dark
Yeah,
art?
dark art.
My sword is practically unbreakable. In fact, it is unbreakable. That's a dark art that was made in its creation.
I mean, it could just be magic. There's magic that's not dark arts, you know? Like when I do magic, it's not dark arts.
Is it to do with a cat?
No, it's to do with the power of love.
You could have said that with a bit more believability. I think it's cat. Cat is a dark art.
No, he's not. Just because you hate him.
Why? And this is far more important. Why did that guy look like David Bowie?
I don't know. I kind of thought he looked like he looks like a manga character.
He looks like he was threatening us.
Well,
The Goblin King?
the Goblin King. was threatening us?
Do we only have 24 hours or the child is dead?
Not looking for a child. We're looking for a robot.
What is going on?
I don't know anymore.
Did you, like, lose it somewhere? Like, you're...
You're the one that has lost your plaything.
Don't call her that, because that sounds really creepy.
Look, we were gonna look for her anyway, right? So we just go, and if we find the guy's stuff too, then maybe it doesn't matter if he was threatening us. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know what he'd do. Send files to everyone.
This is the cargo that he has misplaced. It is also not a creepy mechanical girl.
And you're a 40-year-old guy in a high school, okay?
Do I look like that?
But you were claiming you were 40, and you're so adamant on it.
You don't believe anything else I say. Why would you believe that?
I mean, we do believe some of the things you say because you can, go through portal things, so. Eh.
He turns and walks off, then stops and comes back. I don't know where this facility is that we're meant to be going.
Braun was looking into it, so. I guess. Do you know? Braun?
Braun would theoretically know.
He says.
Why are you both looking at me like that?
'Cause you have the folder with all the information?
Well, the information is mine.
Okay, do you want us to help look for your friend or not?
Well, yes, but I can't help but be a little bit of a dick first.
Look, if you want help, then we'll go with you, 'cause we don't know how to get there, so.
But date with Lauren call for this.
It's on the outskirts of town. I hope you don't mind walking.
I mean, it's probably better if it's not right in the middle of the city, because if things go wrong and we end up fighting people, then fewer bystanders.
I thought you were going to say witnesses, but I'm happy you didn't.
Oh, that would make it sound like we were gonna kill people, which is not a thing.
And that's why I was concerned. To the subway.
All right.
And Braun will walk off.
To the subway.
Fukiko will follow, and upon leaving the school building, her cat companion will rejoin her because he does not come to the school.
He flies down. He was having fun chasing pigeons for a little while.
Excellent.
In the air? It's a clever cat.
He's got wings.
Oh, I still hate him. But all right.
He flies. My cat flies, okay?
That's not entirely natural.
No, of course not. So, are we going now? Because I can. I just have to call home and say I'm staying for a club activity.
Well, I believe this would be our best time to act. As soon as
'Kay.
possible, but...
Give me a minute then. And she's just gonna walk off and make a quick phone call and lie to her parents that she's got school activities. Well, just to
Unacceptable,
her dad.
Emily.
Her mom's dead. I forgot that. Sorry, Fukiko.
Oh, Fukiko. This is going to be another club activity? You have so many of them this week.
It's really important to participate in a lot of extracurriculars. It looks really good for a college application.
Well, your dad's not here right now, and I'm just finishing up the supper for him. And I will be leaving it in the fridge as usual. So when you get home, you can help yourself. And I will
Thank
be back
you.
tomorrow to do the cleaning again.
Thank you.
And I will leave a note for your father.
Thank you. You're the best.
Bye.
Bye.
I had forgotten that it was supposed to be for your father.
It's someone else now. I was just going with it. I was like,
Exactly.
I don't know who I'm talking to. I'll tell them about my club activities.
Your dad works hard, so they have somebody come in and do stuff. So
It's my neighbor.
It's not like you're ever around.
Like, hey, yeah, I've got stuff. Why are you in my house? All right, I can go. I definitely don't seem suspicious to anyone at all ever. That the fact that I never go home pretty much after school. But anyway.
And so you all head off to the public transit.
And it took us a little longer to get there because Auren tried to go in the out area and it wouldn't swing that way. He ended up in an argument with the inanimate object. And he did have to be coaxed a little bit onto the strange metal snake that goes across the city. He much would prefer a horse.
On the subway over, Braun just tinkered with a few things he pulled out of his bag and made the device that's listed in there as well for tracking the isotope, or he just doesn't care about this guy's materials. It's always good to have. It's always good to have contacts.
Yes, but he does not trust being approached by a random guy who has all this intel on him.
That's fair.
I am still unsure of what dark sorcery it is that we are here to try to obtain. How do you make a taupe bag of ice?
Isotopic. That sounds like a thing for Braun.
An isotope.
Yes.
He said something about an isotopic signature.
I don't know what he wants with this.
So someone has signed the bag.
What?
There was a...
There is no bag. There is no bag.
There's a tote bag made of ice, and now it's been signed.
No bag.
I'm so confused.
You're like a dog. No treat. No bag. Could he fit some sort of like EMP thing?
Fit? You want to fit in it, or?
Oh no, like build it. Sorry.
Sure.
Just like a simple EMP, knock out cameras, lights.
100%. Larger radius that you go, the more difficult it will be. More specific you are, the easier it'll be. If you want something just for the cameras, that's one thing. If you want something for the computer systems, that's another. If you want to hack into the computer systems, that might get you a whole bunch more information than just knocking them out.
Could I do that on the subway?
Yeah, you
Then
can.
hell yeah. Then I would do
Not
that.
too many other people could. But by the time you arrive at the place and make your way a little further out following the main road, and you see where the facility for this pharmaceutical company's laboratory or whatever office building it is situated. They have, of course, the stone wall around it, the gate at the front, the driveway up to it, all of which is closed at this time of night. But there is someone in the booth at the front that will open the gate for any late night deliveries and such. So you're a little ways back. Whoever's in the booth, of course, hasn't seen you and stuff. You know how this will usually work. So you're just kind of back from the road a little bit and just observing and trying to decide how you want to approach getting to the facility. The maps I've posted in the images for the various floors, that was included in the folder that the nice, wealthy fellow gave you.
A very, very nice, we're sure, probably guy.
Mm-hmm. They have to occasionally redirect your walking because you're not really paying attention to where you're walking, and you kind of did that thing where you step off the curb accidentally and almost give yourself whiplash a few times because the one time you tripped over the trash can and sent that all spilling and stuff like that. Again, clumsy. But they managed to keep you on the straight and narrow, get you to where you're going, and by the time you're standing outside that gate, you have the possibility of having connection in here down pat. You're all ready to throw the switch on that. I just need a roll. And what do you want to accomplish with this exactly? And you don't, I mean, don't limit yourself is what I'm kind of getting at. Because again, super anime kind of character, right? So what do you want to have happen here?
Access to cameras and possibly the ability to shut them down?
Just the camera system or the whole security system?
The whole security system, why not? I got a lot of die.
All right, so you're hacking the
Do it.
security system.
Hack it all.
With inventor and computer wizard.
Don't really need inventor right now because you're not inventing anything new. Certainly computer whiz knowledge. You're very smart. I was wrong. The cat isn't the smartest one here. You're the smartest one here.
Yep, and then smart, I would assume.
Yeah. So that's 7. And you
are
always get
smarter than a flying cat.
Exactly. You always get a base 2 for any ability that you're trying to do. Perception, strength rolls, whatever. You get 2 dice and then you start adding abilities on top of that. So you're adding 7 dice to 2, so that's 9 dice.
So 9d6, right?
Yep. Let me just figure out real quickly here your target number. You're starting to check with the computer system and you're finding that it's a pretty good system. You would normally need an 8 to get into the first layer of it, maybe a 9 to get to more sensitive parts. You roll higher than that and you'll have better access to more things. How's that sound?
All right.
So your highest number is a 6, but your multiples of 5 when you add them together is 15. So that's actually your highest. So you needed an 8 or 9. You got 15.
So good job.
Yes. You blew past their security. You didn't leave any kind of trace. And you now have full access to the entire system.
He would like to see if he can find anything on the cameras, any sign of Miho or the tote bags.
So
Tote bags.
you feed in the biometric information on Miho, dimension, size, weight, because she's heavier than normal and stuff too. So that would all play a part. And compare it to the shipments, for example.
Yep, any sort of like thing he could do.
Yeah.
See shipping logs if there's anything about robotics.
I would have you roll, but really you have full control of the system. This takes you a matter of maybe a minute or 2 to run that, pulling up the information that you want to use to see if Miho was brought into the facility. No shipments match her size or weight or dimensions, and it doesn't seem to be anywhere that you can see with cameras that have any kind of containment of her. Like there's no box or she's not stacked in a corner or anything in any of the rooms that you can see. However, on the bottom floor, if you guys want to look at the images,
Okay.
elevator is pretty much in the center, and then that blue is the hallway. And as you go around, you can see that there is a bigger room at the end of the hallway, and that looks like it has a couple of like cryo chamber sort of things in it,
Yeah.
as well as a big glass cage that it looks
Oh.
like there's somebody sitting inside of that right now. Dimensions of that person do not match Miho though, but you can't see what's in the cryo chambers or
Thingy.
whatever they are.
Yeah.
So he will be looking very perplexed, but noting this stuff down.
Oh, the other thing you did note, by the way, is that there are 6 guards on duty. Usually there's about 16 to 20 people in the facility during the daytime. Evening, they don't always have the labs and stuff operating. In fact, they usually don't, and tonight they don't as well. There's no staff for that. There just seems to be a couple of people working there, somebody in the main office, and the 6 security guards.
So something is up. Good or bad yet?
How do you know?
Well, there's a lot less people than there should be.
How many should there be?
20? Seems on average, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less.
Even at night?
Yep. Tends to be less at night, but still up there, not just 6 on duty.
I mean, it's weird if it's not normal, but isn't it kind of good for us if there aren't as many?
Well, it does seem good, but you never know for sure. I mean, something is up.
How do you propose we get in? Are we storming the battlements?
I was not planning on it. I can't really deal with combat.
Then what are we going to do when the nefarious ne'er-do-wells do try to oppose us achieving the goals that we have set for ourselves?
That is where you, my friend, come in.
So we are storming the battlements.
Not yet. If something goes wrong, then you can do all the storming you want.
Me?
Him.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, you're magical.
Yeah, so I'm saying I can fight them too.
Okay, can you do it stealthily?
No.
No. It's a little bit, not stealthy.
Okay,
Just a
so
bit.
let's say we do storm this castle.
I can hit them really hard. Or I can cast Hinotama.
And what are you going to do when the cops show up?
Well, it would be the constabulary and the Department of Fire. And while the building is engulfed in the holy flame of Hinotama, we would escape in the confusion and delay.
I don't think that's a good idea because if anyone gets stuck in the building, they're going to burn to death.
Might I add, there's a person in a glass cage, so your plan of burning this place down would end with one guaranteed death.
Let's not do that then.
Sir, I would like to refute that point at this moment. We are assuming at this point that they are not fireproof.
The person?
Yes.
That is a very safe assumption, I would assume.
But yet, not completely confirmed.
Are you fireproof?
I know I am not, but I do not know if they are not.
if the police showed up, then we could just say, I don't know, we could say a lot of things, but as long as we weren't in the middle of doing magic or something, they're probably not going to jump to that conclusion. It doesn't have to be, hi, we're here fighting security guards with magic. It could just be trespassing.
You're assuming that we managed to knock out all the guards before the cops show up.
Well, if the guards start talking about high school students with magic swords and flying cats, then who do you think the police are gonna side with?
Probably the guards if they show up and they're all knocked out and there's high school students with a sword and a flying cat.
Hello, sir. Can you explain to us about these children? No, they're unconscious. They'll only have one side of the story. Our side.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's a possibility that we could fight them if we needed to, because I don't know much about being stealthy. But we could try that first.
My plan was to save the sieging till after we got discovered.
Huh.
How do you propose entry? Does this fortress have those electronic guards that see all, hiding in those little boxes that move?
Fukiko appears to be listening to her backpack, in which you can see a small cat head poking out. And she'll turn to Braun and say, so Asian's a little annoyed with us, and he wants to know if you hacked into the system, if you couldn't just, stop the alarms that would contact the police at all.
Your cat's stupid and I hate him, but yes, I can do that. Probably. Actually, no, I
found
can do
something
that.
upon which I agree with you.
Hey! You're too
Sound-
mean.
It sounds like there's a little bit of laughing, meowing coming from the backpack.
Yeah. I already know you don't like cats, but you don't have to start too.
No, I love him, he's adorable, but I am upset that he thought about that before I did.
Ah. He's very smart. He's smarter than I am. I can see that face. I can see that face. He wants to say that's not hard or something like that. Yeah. That is a great question, Kat. I don't actually know. Give me a minute to double check what I can do with that skill, because I looked at it not that long ago, but now I've already forgotten. Also, because my cat is smarter than me, Braun, if you could find employee records and
Done.
find some, okay, if you can find a picture, then I could look like them, and then I'd
And
be
he'll
allowed
hold his arm out.
to be there. Okay, she'll look. She'll make note of an appearance that would work for her to change into. It can't be more than a couple decades. I doubt they've got like octogenarians working here anyway, so
They've got some very smart young scientists.
great. I'll
There was
take
somebody
note.
who could convince the guards to let us in.
I don't.
Does this place have a king?
It probably has a CEO or something.
CEO.
Yeah. Why?
Well, if you looked like their king, or prince at least, or princess, possibly. They may gain entry to the kingdom.
Who's the CEO? It just tells me I can alter my age by decades. I guess 4 decades is a lot of decades. I don't know how many decades I could do. I may alter my age by decades. Okay, she'll look at the picture and she'll turn to the other two and say, "So, do you want me to try and look like someone who's supposed to be here and then just we walk in? Because I can try."
Well, that would be the favorable outcome.
Okay. Let's just hope nobody asks too many questions. Unless you want to give me a crash course on running a pharmaceutical company.
Milady, I do have just one question.
Yes.
Auren is currently dressed in a white suit with a fedora because he was actually trying to get a date back in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, okay.
He looks a bit like Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal at the moment.
Yep,
with what he's
exactly.
And just nobody's commented on this.
Well, it's also him.
Who are we to you? As in, not you,
Yeah,
the other
I got it. I leave that to your
The
discretion.
you that is not you, that when we go and talk to them,
Well,
that will
it's
think that
easy
you are
enough
not
for
you.
him. He can just be fixing something, cause he can. So if I said, look, he's here to fix something, he actually knows how to do it. So he could prove he could if he wanted to. But I don't know why you'd be here. Why would you be here? Maybe you're his. You're his
Stocks?
stocks.
I mean, he looks like a stock investor.
Who invests, sir, in stocks?
I just had the vision.
Who?
I had the vision of the one where you put your head and your hands through the
Yeah,
stock.
I
That's
think
exactly
that's
what he's thinking of.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's thinking of. Who invests in? Is there money to be made?
Like a lot. There's stock
Millions.
markets, and or you can lose a lot of money.
I'm so happy.
In the States, they have a whole building dedicated to the stocks.
Yeah.
It's at this point his animation would have changed to a more simpler, more
like,
confused with
what is
crosses over his
happening?
eyes.
Yep,
What is
yep.
happening? So
Not
people can
not quite a
buy
One Punch Man, but
stocks and sell
Mhm.
stocks, and sometimes they're worth more money, and then sometimes they're not worth any money at all.
then there's just this dream sequence above his head that shows jeweled stocks and stockades and
People
Some
just
made of
sell-
gold.
leather padded. And
People just selling all these different. Oh dear.
Weird salesmen selling showrooms. And
I mean,
he is mightily confused.
you're not wrong. They do have special stores for these things, but
Yeah, some people that's how they make all their money.
Oh, I'm Auren.
Anyway, I don't think he looks like a stockbroker, no, because he is in high school. So, any better ideas?
I mean, he looks like he came from old money, at least.
Okay, so the kid of a prospective investor, I don't know.
Sounds plausible.
Or it's like, I still don't know what we're talking about. Good. Count me in. What? Okay, well then I guess we're just gonna hope that it works. And she is going to use her shape-shifting ability, which lets her change her appearance. And she's going to alter her appearance to, as closely as she can, resemble that of the CEO that Braun looked up. All right, and after a moment of sort of It's not her full magical transformation sequence because that's not this. That's a different ability. But there is some sort of shimmering involved, and after a little while, she is taller. She looks much older. She appears to now be in her 40s, and she's dressed in business wear, and she looks very similar, at least at a cursory glance, to the picture Braun had pulled up of the CEO.
And they all notice immediately that this voice is still of a young girl.
That's what to say. It is still.
However, Braun realizes he has videotape of the CEO.
I was gonna ask before we got sidetracked with the stocks if I could pull up a video or something of the CEO,
You still
Yes.
can.
but we got very very caught up with the stock market.
As one does.
We need to do something about that.
About which?
The high school voice coming from a 46-year-old woman.
Okay, well, I need to hear what she sounds like if I'm gonna not sound like me. Cause I could just try and do a generic sort of a hi, I'm a adult, you know, but I don't know. I don't know.
So after listening to that and practicing and listening again and practicing again, no problem. You've got the voice down pat.
All right, is this more to your satisfaction, Braun?
Well, you don't sound like you're in high school.
I suppose that is what I'm going for.
You also sound like you have no hobbies, no interests, and nothing outside of
Well,
work. So I would say you're hitting it right on the head.
I thought that's I thought that was what business people were like.
It is. I'm saying you're doing an amazing job.
Great. Well, I think we'd better head in then. Unless there's anything else you need to do.
I am perfectly fine. I don't know about him.
Oh, I'm Auren. I am ready to move forward across the field of battle when you are ready, sir.
Braun, I may look like I work here, but if there are any, I don't know, security measures like key cards, I can't do that. Can you do that?
He'll kind of wiggle his wrist.
All right. And she'll head for the door.
All right. So you guys walk up to the guard on the at the booth at the front.
I assume.
Yeah.
As you do so, the guard seems to be looking down, reading something. Doesn't seem to be paying a lot of attention. Gates closed and everything, so.
Excuse me.
Head shoots up and he looks up as if he's caught in the headlights for a moment, and then kind of eyes focus and, oh, ma'am! And he jerks to his feet and stands up and, I didn't hear you. And he kind of looks past you to see if there's a car or anything like that. And
I thought that it was a pleasant evening for a walk.
oh, of course, ma'am, of course. I assume you want to go in. If you could just run your card through the thing, I'm sure the gate will open right away for you.
Yes, of course. And she's just going to assume that Braun can do something, and she's going to pretend to scan a card that she doesn't have.
And wouldn't you know it, this card works.
Invisible imaginary card.
You do so. Can you make me we'll call it it'd be the equivalent of a sleight of hand roll, which means 2d6 for ability, like a dex sort of roll would just be 2d6. And because you have quick +2, you may add that.
Okay, so I'm rolling 4d6.
4 dice, yes.
Four.
Target number for this, since he is already flustered, wasn't paying attention, somewhat embarrassed. Target number is 3.
Well, I've got a 12, so. So
outstanding success.
he buys it.
He buys it 100%, and the timing doesn't even have to be on, and the gate just opens as if you scan something. And should I let them know you're coming, ma'am?
No, that's quite all right. I can find them myself.
Excellent, ma'am.
Have a wonderful night.
Yes, ma'am. He just stands at attention and waits till you're gone.
Yes.
And Auren will tip his hat and say to him, "Nice night for walk." And follow the boss lady.
Fellow looks like he wants to say something and then shuts up abruptly and goes back to stiff attention sort of thing. You guys wander up to the front, no problem. You can see inside there's a reception or a lobby desk sort of thing with another security guard there. The door to the outside is closed, but he hasn't even looked up yet, and if Braun triggers the door, then you don't even have to do anything.
Anyway, she's heading into the building.
You walk in, and immediately the fellow shoots to his feet again. Eyes bug out a little bit. Ma'am, I didn't know you were coming.
It was not originally planned. I had some work to take care of.
Nice night for walk.
Make a... This is just a straight up luck roll. Roll 1d6 and let me know. You pick even or odds.
I want even. We'll see. I got evens.
Excellent. I thought you were done for the evening, ma'am. I thought you just left.
I also thought that I was done for the evening, but things come up. You know how business is.
Yes, ma'am. Could you roll me...
He does not know how business is.
Could you roll me 2 dice? I'm just going to ask you something here. You're usually younger, and you rely on being cute to get your way occasionally, right?
Yeah.
What's the likelihood that you would do sort of a dimple check here and give him a little, cute smile, get your way sort of thing?
Just a habit I'm used to.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "You're weird. What are you doing?" I could have, but yeah.
So in this case, I'll get you to roll a charisma roll, which in this case will be 2 dice plus your 2 for cute, minus your 2 for ageism.
But wait, my ageism shouldn't come into play, right? Because I look older now.
You look older, but you still act. It's acting your age and stuff too, which you've been doing really well up till now. It's
until I'm like, business, yes.
And then throw a cute smile.
Okay, so 2d6 then.
Yeah, just need a 3.
Well, I got a 6.
There you go. Excellent.
He's like, "Look, I do know how business is. This is fine. This is normal."
Yep. Again, more flustered, not paying attention to any little idiosyncrasies that you might be throwing out because you're not really used to being this old. I will... Oh, your guests, ma'am. Do they need guest key cards or do they already have them?
They are already taken care of.
Excellent, ma'am. And he salutes and just stands there and waits till you leave. You see a corridor ahead of you, I think.
She at this point is, well, technically looking like she knows where she's going, is following Braun because he saw the security stuff and knows things, and she doesn't actually know things. Shockingly.
Braun will... Well, he was going to be behind you, but Braun will kind of guide you to one way.
Just like poking? No, left.
Yep.
Left.
No problem.
Too far. Come back.
You get it worked out within the first few steps and looks more or less natural that Now Braun is just going ahead of you and opening doors for you, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, Braun would certainly like to go check out the glass cage first.
You are going down to the basement. Again, it has a key card sort of thing in order to give you access to any of the floors. Not a problem with you controlling the whole system. And Braun takes you down to the basement.
Yep.
You guys get off the elevator.
Well, that's going to be Auren's
Oh my
problem,
God.
right? They're going to say, "Quick, you need to call them. Get the people here."
He's
and
gonna
he'll
be like, "What is
on
this?"
the metal on that weird speaking box, and he'll be
Quick,
like,
call
"We need
911.
we need backup, and we need it here." Do you really want a pizza or not?
Exactly. Could have so much fun with that kind of thing.
Help is on the way. 30 minutes or it's free.
The hell? And they kept
I like
asking if I
that.
wanted extra cheese. I wasn't sure why.